Hey guys, welcome to HRG Zone YouTube channel. And today I am gonna show you the top 10 best open world PC games of all time 2024. So sit back and relax. Starting off number 10. Marvel Spider-Man is an open-world action-adventure game set in the borough of Manhattan in a fictionalized version of modern-day New York City. Gameplay is presented from the third-person perspective with a primary focus on Spider-Man's traversal and combat abilities. Spider-Man can freely move around New York City, interacting with characters, undertaking missions, and unlocking new gadgets and suits by progressing through the main story or completing tasks. Outside the story, the player is able to complete side missions to unlock additional content and collectible items. Combat focuses on chaining attacks together and using the environment and webs to incapacitate numerous foes while avoiding damage. Number 9 is Far Cry 3 is a first-person shooter set on the fictional Rook Islands, a tropical archipelago somewhere in the Pacific, controlled by pirates and mercenaries. Players control Jason Brody and can approach missions and objectives in a variety of ways. They can kill enemies by utilizing firearms such as assault rifles, sniper rifles, grenade launchers, rocket launchers, and explosives like landmines and grenades. Jason can travel using a variety of vehicles including dune buggies, all-terrain vehicles, cargo trucks, jet skis, boats, and hang gliding. Later in the game, players will find a wingsuit that Jason can wear. Jason will encounter different friendly settlements where he can shop for weapons and materials and complete side missions including hunting quests and assassination missions. Number 8 is Sleeping Dogs is an action-adventure game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. The player controls Wei Shen, a Chinese-American police officer who goes undercover and ventures out on a raid to infiltrate the Sun On Yee Triad organization. The initial missions of the game are a linear tutorial for controlling the character. After these missions, the player is allowed to explore the game's world and take part in side missions and other activities. Shen navigates the world by running, jumping, climbing over obstacles, swimming, and driving cars, boats, and motorcycles. The heads-up display, HUD, interface features a minimap that indicates targets, key locations, safe houses and contact points, and Shen's current position. The minimap incorporates 2 meters, one shows Shen's health and the other his face. Number 7 is Batman: Arkham Knight is an action-adventure game set within an open-world Gotham City, which can be explored freely by the player from the beginning of the game, allowing them to travel seamlessly anywhere within its boundaries. Many of the gadgets and the gameplay elements from the previous Arkham games return, including the grapnel gun, line launcher, batarangs, the countering system, detective vision, and the remote hacking device. The Disruptor receives upgrades from previous games, becoming a rifle that can be used to disable or detonate enemy weapons and drone turrets, booby trap weapon crates to shock enemies who attempt to arm themselves, and tag vehicles for Batman to track. Number 6 is Assassin's Creed 4: Black Flag is an action-adventure, stealth game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. The game features 3 main cities, Havana, Kingston, and Nassau, which reside under Spanish, British, and pirate influence, respectively. In addition, locations like Port-au-Prince and Greater Inagua are used as main story points. It also features 50 other individual locations to explore, including atolls, sea forts, Mayan ruins, sugar plantations, and underwater shipwrecks, with a 60-40 balance between land and naval exploration. The game was designed to be more open than previous Assassin's Creed titles, with a map of a large section of the Caribbean from where the smaller, individual locations may be accessed. Number 5 is Mafia: Definitive Edition is an action-adventure game developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K. The game's open-world nature allows players to explore Lost Heaven at their leisure when not completing missions to advance the narrative. Players control Tommy Angelo throughout the game's single-player campaign, and its world is navigated on foot or by vehicle. New to the remake is the introduction of motorcycles, a first in the series. Mafia Definitive Edition's gameplay mechanics are based on those of Mafia 3. A classic difficulty setting is also included, serving as the game's hardest difficulty setting that changes some gameplay. Number 4 is Just Cause 3 is an action-adventure game with a third-person perspective. It is set in an open-world environment on the fictional Mediterranean island nation of Medici. Rico Rodriguez as he returns to his homeland of Medici, a fictional Mediterranean island country under the control of dictator General Sebastiano di Ravello. The game is played from a third-person perspective and allows players to explore the island of Medici in an open-world environment. The grappling hook and parachute reappear with improved mechanics. The focus on chaos and exaggerated physics also remain. A new wingsuit, which is permanently equipped by protagonist Rico Rodriguez, is featured in the game and allows the player to glide across the world more quickly. When the player reaches the ground while using the wingsuit, they can use the grappling hook and parachute to draw themselves upward again. Number 3 is Sunset Overdrive is an action-adventure game set in a third-person perspective. Players navigate a metropolis called Sunset City in the year 2027. This dystopian world has been overrun by mutants called the OD, short for overcharged drinkers. The player character is a former Fizco employee, tasked with cleaning up the mess left behind from a party Fizco had thrown to celebrate the launch of its new energy drink, Overcharged Delirium XT. Players proceed to the game's open world, which is free for players to explore at any time. A fast travel system is provided allowing players to reach different locations and to navigate the world quickly. The game features a main campaign with story elements and side missions, which are triggered automatically when players enter certain locations in the city. Number 2 is Red Dead Redemption 2 is a Western-themed action-adventure game. Played from a first- or third-person perspective, the game is set in an open-world environment featuring a fictionalized version of the United States in 1899. It features single-player and online multiplayer components, the latter released under Red Dead Online. For most of the game, the player controls outlaw Arthur Morgan, a member of the Van der Linde gang, as he completes missions, linear scenarios with set objectives, to progress the story. Outside of missions, they can freely roam the interactive world. They may engage in combat with enemies using melee attacks, firearms, bow and arrow, throwables, or explosives, and can dual-wield weapons. The player can swim as Arthur but not as John. And number 1 is Grand Theft Auto 5 is an action-adventure game played from either a third-person or first-person perspective. Players complete missions, linear scenarios with set objectives, to progress through the story. Outside of the missions, players may freely roam the open world. Composed of the San Andreas open countryside area, and its fictional Blaine County and city of Los Santos, the world is much larger in area than earlier entries in the series. It may be fully explored after the game's beginning without restriction, although story progress unlocks more gameplay content. Players use melee attacks, firearms and explosives to fight enemies, and may run, jump, swim or use vehicles to navigate the world. So that's all guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, so please like this video and subscribe my channel and don't forget to notifications. So thanks again and see you soon on next video. And good, bye.